Hey everybody, Taz from Critical Thinking Anarchist here. I've been wanting to say this for a while. I think I don't know if it's the Uniparty or what exactly is going on here, but I think the current political state is in an interesting place. Um, I fully believe that when um, the 2016 election was going on, the left honestly thought that and nobody really thought Donald Trump was going to get the presidency. Nobody thought he was going to get the nod for the Republican Party. Nobody thought he was going to be elected. There were a lot of people who voted for him based on that fact alone. There are a lot of people who voted for him in the primary and in the presidential election thinking this is never going to happen. I know my vote doesn't matter. And so I'm just going to vote for him. Bam, lo and behold, Trump becomes the president ahead of Hillary Clinton because Hillary has become an incredibly unlikable person over the last 20 some years. Up until that point, the last about 30 years now. A lot of people, and I mean this honestly, a lot of people wanted her to run after Bill was no longer in office. People thought she was gonna, kind of like the Michelle Obama thing. People thought she was going to run. People thought she was going to get the presidency. Instead, they put in Al Gore, and nobody liked Al Gore. Again, this is that whole thing of, nobody wanted Al Gore. Nobody wanted Al Gore, honestly. Which is, and even though quote unquote he won the popular vote, same like Hillary didn't win the actual presidency. There's a reason why we have the Electoral College, ladies and gentlemen, because the popular vote isn't necessarily the right thing. You don't want groupthink overruling everything. So anyway, fast forward to 2016. Trump somehow gets the presidential election. All chaos ensues, and oddly enough, the U.S., whether you like it or not, for 3 and almost a half years, he turned the country around. Honestly, he didn't get a lot of the things he promised, but that's also because whether you agree with Trump or not, whether you like Trump or not, he's not a politician. He's not. He doesn't play ball with politicians. He's a businessman. Now, you can agree or disagree on what type of businessman he is, whether he's good or not, whatever, but he's not a politician. I think we should be able to agree on that. So anyway, because he's not a politician, because he doesn't do these backroom deals like everybody else does in politics, he doesn't get a lot of things he wants, but he gets enough of what he wants. He gets, the economy is really good. As far as unemployment, job participation, people's realized income, all the things that mattered are really good. From 2016 or 2017 to end of 2019, very beginning of 2020, this country was probably in the best shape it's been in probably since about the end of Clinton. And I mean that. And then, of course, the coof, as a lot of people like to call it, the coof hits, Summer of Love hits, and they railroaded him hard because, again, he's not a politician. So the left and the right got together with legacy media, with big tech. I mean, they bragged about it and got him out of office. Said he was the biggest threat to the U.S. and democracy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they got rid of him. And they put in Joe Biden. Now, during Joe Biden, so during 2020, the Democrats tried. They had like 3 people they wanted in there. They had Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, and something else. I don't remember who. They had good people who were diverse, quote unquote. They had Andrew Yang in there, who a lot of people liked. A lot of people like Andrew Yang. They had Tulsi Gabbard in there, and a lot of people liked Tulsi Gabbard. They had a few others in there. I can't remember. And there was a third person. I can't remember who that was at the moment. But they had people in there that they really liked, but the people didn't like. And anybody the people backed, the Democrats didn't want in. They kept trying to get the people, the general public to like the people they wanted in, but it didn't happen. So since that didn't happen, then they put in Joe. And Joe Biden under Obama, and this is why he didn't run after Obama. Joe Biden after Obama was in there with Obama because they wanted to help prevent any like assassination attempts. Nobody liked Joe Biden. Joe Biden was a liar. Joe Biden was the most backstabbing, lying politician you could. I mean, he was the most legacy politician you could come up with at that time. But under Obama, he got labeled Uncle Joe. Good old Uncle Joe. Remember Uncle Joe? Uncle Joe helped us during Obama's period. And then they paired him up with Kamala. I don't remember. I don't know how you say her name specifically. I'm going to say Kamala. They teamed her up with Kamala Harris and then, touted her as the highest elected official ever for a woman and a black woman, which is untrue. The vice president is actually the highest unelected position available in the United States. You are on the ticket with the president, but you do not vote for them separately. You vote for the president. It doesn't matter who the vice president is. If you could vote for the vice president outside of the president, then that would be an elected official. She is not an elected official. I don't care how anybody tries to tout it. So that's my little rant on that one. But anyway, so they got her in there, and I firmly believe their intention was to have Joe Biden there through the end of the pandemic, restart the economy, and within 2 to 3, maybe 3 years, backdoor Kamala Harris in. Because Joe has not been looking good since before he was elected. That's why they didn't have him debate. That's why they didn't have him do anything else. That's why they're trying to get someone else in there. They figured Joe could win. And that's a debatable thing either. I'm not going to get into that whole conspiracy. But they figured Joe could win one way or the other. And so they got him on there. They got him in. They team him up with Kamala. They're going to backdoor her through into the presidency. And then it turns out nobody likes her. Now, they should have figured that out when she didn't get on the ticket to begin with. But she, as has been shown in the O'Keefe media segments, she burns through her staff. People can't stand her. They quit after days and weeks. The longest have been months. And it hasn't even been like a year. So I'm saying like a couple months, maybe 2 to 3 from what the one staffer was saying. And I think they went, oh, crap. Now, in the meantime, since 2022, especially, so, they get Joe in 2021. He starts coming out of the pandemic. Things start looking decent. He starts rolling back Trump's policies. And, at first, everything's starting to look good. The jobs are coming back. Cost of goods are going down. But there's a problem. They super hardcore went after the green, the green initiatives. And the policies that they put in place started backfiring. They stopped working. And people are now getting fired and laid off at record rates. Joblessness is going up like crazy. People are losing out on these deals. Inflation is through the roof. And their plan B is no longer plan B. They can't put her in. So now they got to keep Biden in. Well, now he's looking worse and worse every time he's up there. And he's doing all the talking points and everything else. But even the left is sitting there going, we can't support this guy. It's just not feasible. So what do? Well, you got one of three options. You either super back Joe Biden and be like, you know what, we really want him in there for that second term, and we're going to do everything, and we support Joe Biden, and we're going to turn this around. We're going to turn the economy around. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Or you get a newer, better person. But unfortunately, again, their newer, better people haven't shown up. Pete Buttigieg is still unlikable. Kamala is still unlikable. Tulsi has left the Democratic Party. Andrew Yang, I have no idea. I don't know if he's got anything going on. There's nobody in the Democratic Party who's really like establishing themselves. And of course, the ones that are are the super radical left that you don't want invading anything. You know, the AOCs of the world, the Ilhan Omars and all that. So you go for option 3, blow it all up. So what they're going to do, what they are doing, what they have been doing, doubling and tripling down. Okay, well, they can't destroy America completely. So what we'll do is tear it down and rebuild it. What we're going to do is we're going to enact these really bad policies. We're going to pretend we're pushing Biden when really we're pushing Trump this time, because Trump is, again, the only nominee who's doing anything. So then Trump's going to come in, and we're going to do a 2-step thing. We're going to blame part of this on Biden. You know what? He really was mentally unstable. He really wasn't capable. We should have done something better, but you know, we didn't feel it was right to denigrate the guy while he was in office. So part of the policies that failed that Joe Biden put in place were Joe Biden's fault. However, this is really all Trump's fault. So they're going to go back to blaming Trump again. And for the next 4 years, they're going to blame Trump and undermine him at every turn and blame him every time something doesn't work. And then this is politics. Politics is always about the long con. It's always about the long game. And then in 2028, as sick and as sad as it's going to be, whatever happens, it doesn't matter. Trump's not going to be able to run again. In 2028, they're going to try again and put in their hire, their diversity person, whatever it is. Joe Biden is going to be long gone by that time. Nobody's going to remember Joe Biden. Nobody's going to remember how bad Joe Biden was. And even if they do, they're going to say, you know, we just didn't feel like, we just didn't feel like we should be criticizing an old man while we're doing this. So that's my, you know, it's not really conspiracy theory. I don't think it is. It's an educated guess, just watching Washington as long as I have, you know, taking in all the information. But that's what I'm seeing. That's what I've been seeing for the last 8 years, is that they're gonna, they knew it worked once. And so they figure if they blow it all up and try again, that's the best course of action. That's what they're going to go. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, I'm sorry for sounding so sad today. I've been sick all week long. I plan on having some more videos next week, including Marvel reviews. I wanted to do that yesterday, and I wanted to do it again today, but again, just being sick, it just hasn't happened. So, but again, tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.